DE Shave Talk with Kid here. About a week ago, I had my 68th birthday. And birthdays for many of us cause us to reflect and look back on our life. And for some reason, on my 68th birthday, my mind went back to my midlife crisis birthday, which was 25 years ago. I was 43 years old, going through the midlife. And in that time in my life, I had to go through the common things that many of my young subscribers are looking forward to, and many of my older subscribers have already passed that passage in their life of midlife. But what I learned at 43 on my midlife crisis birthday, I learned that I had to put away things in my life that weren't working. And I had to decide what it was in my life that was realistic that I could achieve. I had to give up those things that I had to decide what I was never going to be able to achieve. And I had to learn acceptance for all of that. And I gave up some things in midlife. I gave up a 20-year unhappy marriage. That was the biggie. When going through divorce, quite a process. And I realized, I was probably never gonna be a millionaire, and had to deal with that. And after my divorce, I decided, change those things which you can, and be okay with the things you can't. And I started thinking, what do I want? And one thing came across my mind. Man, would I love to have a red Ferrari with a white interior. Red, white. This was my midlife crisis dream. Right here. Ferrari. Red with a white interior. Well, you go through midlife crisis and you realize you can't have everything you dreamed about. So you know what I bought? I bought a red Volkswagen GTI. That was my midlife crisis car. And you know what? I loved that car because I chose it. It was for me. It was mine. And I accepted that was going to be closest I was going to get to a Ferrari. Fast forward. Last week I turned 68. Let me tell you, 25 years later, after 16 years of leukemia, after going through 4 years of dialysis with my wife, and then a kidney transplant, after going through prostate surgery, and losing so much of my physicalness and my strength, and losing so much at 68 in my life, what did my 68th birthday bring to mind? It brought to mind that I have learned acceptance. I have learned to be happy with what I have. I have learned to not dwell on all of the things that I've lost in my life, but find pleasures in those things which I can still do. And at 68, you also learn that to be happy in this life, number one, happiness is a decision. You learn that love is a decision. you learn that contentment with your life is a decision. So, on my birthday, just about my birthday, in the mail, I finally get a Ferrari. A Ferrari. A red and white Ferrari. Okay, you may think that's funny. But when you're 68 and you learn to be happy with what you have and you get a Ferrari brush, this brush gives you, in your mind, a Ferrari on your face, like the soft leather seats in a Ferrari. You grab this gear shift, and it brings to mind the days when I could drive my 1600 Roadstar motorcycle and get that Ferrari feeling when I was going down a country road, smelling all those fresh grasses on that country road, not a soul on the road but me, listening to the blast of my V-twin Roadstar motor and those Vance and Hines pipe. That was a Ferrari life. So what I'm saying here is, so I had let me put it this way. There was a DE Shave Channel creator that said, you know, I don't like brushes. Brushes, I could care less. Well, for me, if without a good brush, you can't get a Ferrari shave. You can't get a Ferrari shave without that feel, without the brush whipping up those delicious olfactory scents of your shave soap on your face and the feel of that smoothness and all that. How are you going to get a Ferrari shave without a Ferrari brush? Okay, so my shave today is called Ferrari Shave, a Ferrari Life. And for it, I've got the Yaqi Ferrari, red and white Ferrari, 26 millimeter tuxedo knot. For my Ferrari shave, I've got a Ferrari soap. This is the Omega. 5.58 ounces of fabulous soap. $7.78 for that Ferrari shave. For my Ferrari shave, I've got my Ferrari razor. It is my Razorock Game Changer, #1 razor for my Ferrari shave with a set blade, my #1 blade. So in just a minute, I'm going to reset this camera and we're going to get into a Ferrari shave in my Ferrari life. Hang on. Okay, I'm ready for the Ferrari shave. And I just wet this beautiful Yaqi 26 millimeter red and white Ferrari brush. Gonna take my Crown King shave scuttle and the Omega. This is a eucalyptus flavor, Omega. And shake out a little water in there. Take this. Do a little twisting routine. Then I'm going to bring it down to my skull because it's beginning to drip. Going to let all that excess soap and bubbles run off that puck right there. Down into my shave scuttle, and as I've shown you in other videos, I use the scuttle to hold the excess water that runs off the brush and shave soap to dip into for my future passes. So we're going to have a creamy bunch of lather, not only in the brush, but also in the scuttle. I'll show you something what I'm doing here. I'm going to take this scuttle, squeeze the lather out of the brush, and I dumped it in the scuttle there, right? Then I'm gonna, so now I've got a whole scuttle full of delicious, fabulous Omega lather. By the way, that the Omega soap, I can't believe this stuff. 5.58 ounces of soap that performs, the closest thing I can tell you is it's like a Razorock soap. Like a Razorock tallow soap, actually, as far as how it lathers, what it's like to shave with. But you get 5.5 ounces of this stuff for $7.78. Now that's a budget saver Ferrari Shave dream right there. So anyway, first let me show you what I got here in the lather. Look at this. Look at this, right? So, all of that in there. And I'm gonna bring that super smooth, super luxurious lather right here to the face. First we do a little Ferrari swirl. Man, I'll tell you, I love de-shaving. I'm not going to lie. When you're my age and you've given up almost everything, you gave up your motorcycle, you gave up your sex life when you had your prostate surgery, you gave up a lot. You got to find things that you still love to do, and I love to de-shave. Now, tell you what. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this Omega lather. Look at it. And look at the Ferrari brush. Anybody tells me they don't like brushes, I question whether they like shaving. But anyway, that's just my opinion. You have a right not to love brushes if you don't want to. But I don't get it. So, here we go. Wow. I thought this 26 millimeter Ferrari brush might be too big. Not so. And it's the tuxedo knot, which is the mid to high on the PR index. It's a PR8 on the PR index. As far as the pressure it takes to take it to bend over, and with a PR8, even though you bend it over, it's going to come back to its original shape without you having to push it back into its original shape. And that's why these PR7, PR8 brushes are my favorite. And I'm not going to lie, the synthetic PR7 and 8 Yaqi brushes are my favorite. load you up with the most enjoyable experience you're ever gonna have, ready for a Ferrari shave and a Ferrari life. So here we go. My Ferrari razor, the Razorock Game Changer .84. Let's go for it, people. Woo. You know, one of the things I love about DE shaving is the challenge. I mean, let's face it. I was an athlete all my life and I always liked competition. When I was a salesman, I was the top because I was a competitor. I've always been a competitor. And now, I'm not competing with anybody else, but when I shave, I'm competing with myself. I'm competing to get a better shave than I got last time. And I got lots of challenges here that keep my mind busy while I'm enjoying the shave, like do no harm. I don't want to hurt myself. And, you know, let's be honest, there's always that possibility, so as my skill improves, I do it less and less often, but it can still happen. And I have a very efficient, cut-in, yet smooth, very smooth, Gillette Nasset. Now, even though I'm not letting Gillette make me no girly man, I still like their razor blades. Now look at here. Here I am talking about do no harm. I cut myself. Little weeper there. Didn't even feel it. But, yep, that's it. Well, part of shaving like a man is nicking yourself without crying. And if you notice, I'm not one bit politically correct, and ask me if I care. I am over here doing the same thing, shaving like that. I know you can't see it too well the way I set up the camera here, so move right along. Come in here too. I'm really showing how this Razorock Game Changer excels by this very thin head that has no blade exposed edges whatsoever, and gets right up under those into those nostrils where the hair grows up. One reason this razor is still my number one, because There's no aspect of shaving it doesn't do better than any razor I have. So, that's why it's number one. Now I have some razors that do some of the stuff this does as well. Like my prismatic, one dang good razor. Gets up under the nose really well. Very slim head. You know, really good that way. But that sucker has those blade edges hanging out there. And when I'm going around, say I'm doing my head, right, and I'm going around my ears, oh my word, if I clip my ears, I'm going to be bleeding. And, you know, with the Game Changer, you don't even have that danger. That danger is not even possible because the blade extensions are covered. And for me, that's no small issue. So, other than that, the prismatic shaves as smooth and as well as a Game Changer. But it's got one real big problem for me, and it's those blade extensions that are dangerous to a certain degree. I can deal with that, but I have to deal with it when I shave. And I'd rather not, to be honest with you. But do I still use that prismatic? Yes, I do, because I like it. But it's got one thing one factor I gotta deal with all the time. So, second pass. Man, this Omega soap's got a very faint eucalyptus scent. Pleasant. But the biggie is, the nature of this soap is it's creamy, it's slick. What can I say? It's just a fabulous performing soap. I mean, it's just, well, I really love it. And I think the value of this soap, considering its performance, its ease of lather, it doesn't dissipate. It does not dry your skin. It does not do anything negative. It's all good. I don't know. I don't have my calculator to figure out how much that is an ounce. When you get 5 ounces for $7, but it's like, what is that? $1.20 an ounce or something like that? Crazy. Goodbye. Okay, number 3. Just for fun, look at all this lather I got left here. The point about Omega not dissipating. It's been sitting here this whole shave. Still creamy, still ready to go. Did not fade away into the dustness. I'm telling you, this stuff is, I don't care what the price is. It's Cadillac lather. Okay. I don't care what your price is. That's the thing. People think budget shavers don't shave as well as those that buy the expensive designer soaps and designer brushes and $300 razors. Baloney. I'm here to say, but if you're a budget shaver and you know which budget products to buy, you're not missing nothing, and you can have a Ferrari shave every single day of the week. Man, I love DE shaving. I'm not gonna lie. Soap smells good. I'm having a good time here. Okay, now I went this way, then I went that way, now I'm going that way. One thing I don't do too much of anymore is, for me, if I go up, right, that would be going full on against the grain. And let's just say that I limit that a lot. So, I did a lot of talking in this video, and you know, when I started this DE Shave talk with Kit, I really wanted to be a mentor to those that don't have fathers and never had anybody teach them how to shave. And along the way, the reason I had a DE Shave talk with Kit is I wanted to try to impart some wisdom too along the way. And it was my effort to impart a little bit of wisdom for those that have ears to hear. In this shave. But no matter how much adversity you go through, no matter how many struggles, no matter how many problems you have, you can decide to be content with your life. You can decide to have love in your life. You can make a decision to deal with those things that you lose by replacing those things like DE shaving that you can still do. And in the end, if you decide to be happy no matter how many problems you have, you can still have a Ferrari life. And that's a BBS. So, that's a wrap. I hope you'll subscribe and join me next time. DE Shave Talk with Kit. That's been a Ferrari Shave and a Ferrari Life. Next time.